say the challenges that they keep on giving us and the challenges and the opportunities that are there. We must transform every element. The Ducab is one of the biggest companies as a cable manufacturer. Plus, there is a big support from the country itself.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Ducab Daily. My name's Lachlan Kitchen and it's great to have your company for Season 2 of the podcast series. Our next guest is a plant manager. He's overseen everything with operations, from maintenance to production, and he's been a key driver of innovation within the factories at Ducab. As a plant manager, he oversees 2 of the plants, and it's amazing that he's been able to find the time to join us here for the podcast series. Atiq Al Janahi, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you, Ketch, for the lovely introduction. It's really nice and looking forward for a lovely chat.
Well, it's impressive to be with the same company for 16 years because research shows that 50% of people stay in the one job for 3-4 years. What is it about Ducab that has made you want to stay within the organisation for 16 years?
I would say the challenges that they keep on giving us and the challenges and the opportunities that are there. So although, let's say, the designation is the same, or
because you haven't just had the one role within those 16 years.
It's never a one role. It's never a one project. It's always a dynamic kind of an environment.
Culturally within the UAE, we all know 90% of the workforce are expatriate workers. But when it comes down to the factory managers within Ducab, 77% are Emiratis.
Yes, indeed.
What is it culturally about the company that attracts so many Emirati workers?
I would say the opportunities that are there in the manufacturing industry, and especially with cables, that there are not so many key players in the UAE, and Ducab is one of the biggest companies as a cable manufacturer. Plus, there is a big support from the country itself on the industries.
With Ducab being 45 years old, a lot of the growth of the UAE, well, not just Dubai, but of the country, it's been that same sort of path, hasn't it? That as the UAE and Dubai has grown, so has the opportunities for Ducab.
True, indeed. We started with a small company in one plant in one location. Now we have 6 plants across 3 different locations. So that shows how we are coping up with the demand and the growth.
So within those factory managers that are Emirati, is it my understanding that there's probably a sense of pride that you're working within a company that is not just a company making money, but it's helping build a country?
Being an Emirati engineer in the cable industry, they see the whole process from raw material to the semi-finished goods to the finished goods. And then afterwards, they see the actual cables in the daily routine, whether it's in the mall or even in their houses.
I want to touch on the circular economy because that's a word people always tend to use, whether it's reusing, recycling, repurposing, how to transition everything. Now, I'm sure it's used in a variety of ways at Ducab, but what's your experience within a factory or a plant where you run 2 plants? How is the circular economy being used?
Basically, the circular economy is an economic system of a closed loop in which raw material, components, and the product lose their value, but as little as possible. We must transform every element of our take, make, and waste.
Okay, we need to let's focus on that. Take, make, waste,
exactly.
And then you use it again.
We use it again, exactly, yes. So on the weight perspective, if we deep dive into the waste, since our product as a cable, it is 80 to 85% is metals, whether it is copper or aluminium. Having an advantage of having our own
opportunities, your own plants,
our own plants to produce the copper rod and aluminium rod. So I can proudly say that 100% of whatever waste that we have, it actually goes back to the
it's being repurposed. One of the other developments that you would have seen over time is technology. Every business, every sector is being influenced by technology, and AI, artificial intelligence, is coming in. A lot of people are concerned. They don't want to take it on. They're fearful, will AI take our jobs? That's always the scary headline. What are you doing to utilize AI within your workforce and help improve the culture?
Yeah, I would say to people, don't really worry, because AI is an enabler. It's not a replacement. We won't be replaced because at the end, AI is an enabler. So we should think of our competencies. If you take some years back, if you go back a couple of years, the operator himself, we would really rely on the operator on setting up the machine, a lot of manual intervention. He would have to stay and monitor the full shift. Now it's not. Now it's easier. Setups will be much faster. The data that he has is actually helping him. So it's not a replacement. So it will help him in quick decision making in order to avoid any waste. And you name the wastes that we have. We have time, we have material, we have movement. So this will actually streamline our operations.
But Atiq, what you're also bringing in, the human element. I can see as a manager, you're instilling confidence in your employees, which is,
True.
Don't be afraid, think clearly, make the correct decisions, because we're going to use this technology to help support you with your work.
Exactly. So what will happen is actually a mental change or a perspective change of how do I innovate further?
Yeah.
So instead of just 80% or 100% of a manual work, no, now we have 20% of a manual work, and then 80% is actually analysis, root cause analysis, how to improve, etc. Many things. So basically, it will improve your competency as a person itself.
I think that's a key driver within cultural change. If you're instilling a confidence in your team, there's opportunity here. We can be better employees. We can be better workers. We can have a better company.
Yeah.
I think is incredible, because most people are concerned about AI, but you're saying AI could actually produce more jobs.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing, incredible. One of the other shifts that you've certainly seen in your time, there's been a cultural shift, but I'd probably call it more a cultural realignment, and that is of gender balance. What are some of the positive impacts that you've seen in your time working in the plants that the gender realignment has seen?
Yeah. I was actually happy that I was part of I've looked both areas, like where we didn't have any female engineers, and then when we started with 1, 2, etc., and then up to where we have reached now. We have almost even a management role also as engineers. So they bring a different kind of a touch and
Different perspective
to the people, and I'm happy to say that we provide the right environment for anyone to actually be able to come and work with us.
But I think that's also quite hard, because even if I was to go to high school in any country or universities, engineering does tend to be something that boys tend to gravitate to. So I think that welcoming in that cultural alignment is probably impressive to Ducab, to be able to have that perspective of that different workforce. So sustainability is the big buzzword in business today. But Atiq, in your experience within the factories at Ducab, what are some of the policies that you have in regards to sustainability?
Yeah, basically we started 25 years ago. So we do have our own environmental management
So long
system.
before it was just a trendy word.
Exactly, yes.
25 years ago, you had sustainable practices.
True. Yes, indeed, we do that. And at the moment, we have partnership with Schneider Electric for our ESG roadmap.
And with that partnership, I've always wanted to ask you this, so now I've got you, I will, because I live in Dubai, and when I travel to Abu Dhabi, you drive past Jabal Ali, where one of your factories is, and I see these solar panels that are there. So are you utilizing them in some way within the factories?
Yes, of course. We have 2 in-house solar plants that actually power up the 50% of Jabal Ali factory.
So 50% of the power coming in, and obviously what you're producing at the factories, you're working with companies and renewable companies to make facilities and operations that are sustainable.
True, that's also true. We do have in our product portfolio that actually support the sustainability projects. So we did supply to Baraka nuclear power plant. We did supply to Mohammed bin Rashid solar plant. That's locally. On the international perspective as well, we do have some projects in Oman, in Korea, Australia, UK. And having said that, we've already supplied to 75 countries.
75
worldwide.
countries is... It's a lot. And we mentioned at the start that you've had the opportunity within Ducab to travel to a few countries. And that's impressive, because 75 different countries have different political landscapes, different corporate governance. They've got different ESG targets. And I guess that's what's been so impressive, is that Ducab has been able to negotiate and navigate all those terms.
Yeah. And that goes back to the robust certifications and the product development that we have.
Now, for someone that's maybe dreaming of one day working at Ducab, you do have opportunities. Are there summer training programs and different opportunities for people coming through?
Yes, and from that perspective, yes, we do. We do have the summer training program that everyone is actually are welcomed to enter. Plus, we do have the Bidayati program, which is a 1-year kind of internship.
And do you have any advice if someone's at university now and they're doing engineering and they're maybe dreaming of one day having a role where they're a manager in a factory within Ducab? What's your advice to them?
My simple word would be perseverance, and then link that perseverance with your talent. Find out your talent, be perseverance, because you remember that success is actually a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah, it's never up and it's never straight up. You've got to be able to navigate.
Exactly, yes.
Well, you've been able to do it successfully for 16 incredible years. Atiq Al Janahi, congratulations on all of your work and your career, which is not ending yet thus far with Ducab. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of Ducab Daily. My name's Lachlan Kitchen, and we look forward to your company for another episode on Season 2 of the series.